Welcome to the Ultimate Summer Decorate with Me 2025. If you're dreaming of a home that feels cozy, elegant, and effortless, fresh for summer, you're in the right place. In this mega video, I brought together all of my summer decorating ideas into one relaxing, uninterrupted experience, perfect for sitting back with a coffee or decorating right along with me. Whether it's your kitchen, entryway, or living room, you'll find tons of simple styling tips to bring a calm, seasonal feel to every space. If you love getting high-end looks on a realistic budget, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and tap the bell so you never miss out on more cozy and intentional home inspiration. Now let's get started transforming space into something truly special for the season. So here's a little look at how my front porch was looking. Yes, I still had my Easter decor up, and the weather has been less than ideal. It was actually only about 10 degrees Celsius the day I filmed this, even though it's mid-May. But it was definitely time to give this space some love. And of course, I brought out my two dogs since they insisted on coming out with me. They're always curious when I'm decorating and love being part of the action. You've probably seen them wandering around in my videos. They are my little creative assistants and never far from my side when I'm working on projects. Whether I'm setting up a new space or filming a DIY, they're right there supervising every step. I got started by removing everything. I won't show the cleaning part, but just know I did give everything a good sweep, remove the old decor, and scrub the decor clean. It feels so good to start with a clean slate, and sometimes that's the most motivating part, right? I'm starting off by hanging the wooden home sign. It used to live in my foyer, but I've got something exciting and brand new going in there. If you follow my DIY channel, you might have already seen it. And if not, make sure to check out the links in the description box. I've got lots of budget-friendly decor ideas there. Next, I'm adding DIY pottery bar inspired forsythia wreath, which brings in the perfect summer pop of yellow. I also hung up my two DIY wreaths. I did consider reworking these wreaths this year, but haven't quite found the inspiration yet. Maybe it'll come later this season, you never know. Now, one of my favorite porch staples, this old rocking chair I found on Facebook Marketplace for $20 years ago. I painted in black and let Mother Nature do the distressing over the seasons. I added a fun lemon themed pillow cover from Temu because lemons and pops of yellow are my go-to summer decor. If you're enjoying the summer decorate with me so far, I'd love if you gave it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. It really helps support my channel, and I love having you here as part of this cozy decorating community. So let's talk about these spots for a minute. I'm not loving the way my recent makeover turned out. I might need to tweak the color, maybe something deeper or just add more texture. But for now, I'm working with what I've got. I picked up two beautiful ferns from Costco for $20 each. They're actually hanging baskets, but I'm removing the hangers and placing them into my pots for that lush green summer porch vibe. To raise them up a bit, I'm using leftover pavers inside the pots. That trick works like a charm. I usually rotate between ferns and palms for my front porch pots. There's just something about that tropical look that feels right for summer. I'm keeping my vintage wash basin in its usual spot, but refreshing it up with a colorful floral arrangement I found at Costco. It was $42, and while I usually keep things more neutral with just greenery, this year I'm embracing a bit of color. I love the mix of blooms and the draping greenery. There's even a lily or two in there that'll pop as it blooms. I decided to bring in some of my thrifted and made over lanterns. The large one was a garage sale find that I gave a fresh coat of spray paint to match my style. The smaller one I've had for years. I gave it all a quick a refresh so they would all coordinate better together. And I really love how they look grouped together out there. I have three lanterns total. You'll see where I style the third one in just a bit. Then came my layered outdoor rugs, both from Hobby Lobby from years ago. We actually picked these up on a trip to Buffalo while we were at the dance competition in Niagara Falls, Canada. I love pieces that have memories attached, even if it's not a decorating related memory. It's still a great memory. Also, don't be afraid to reuse and restyle what you already have in your home. Now, moving on to the other side of the porch, I wanted to create a just picked up from garden moment with a thrifted basket and some florals for now. But once the garden is in full bloom, I will definitely use some fresh ones. I also added a Dollarama concrete citronella candle in this beautiful concrete pot for just $4. Once the candle burns down, I might reuse the pot or even pour a new candle into it and use it indoors. They have few different designs currently in the store, so check them out if you are looking for some concrete looking pots or concrete pots with candles. This little setup brings in a storybook summer charm that just love, and it's a great example of how simple items can tell a visual story. In the corner, I tucked that third lantern. This one I didn't paint because I love the original finish. And to finish it all off, I'm adding two yellow lumber pillows from HomeSense to tie everything together. They've been in my summer stash for years, and then they're just the right finishing touch for this cozy porch refresh. And that's it, my friends. My simple and cozy summer front porch is ready for the season. Let me know in the comments what your favorite part was, and if there's anything you change, especially those planters. I'm open to your ideas. If you love this front porch decorate with me, be sure to like, subscribe, and turn on the bell so you don't miss what's coming next. I've got some seasonal home decor and easy DIYs heading your way soon. Thanks so much for spending time with me today. I hope you feel inspired to create and welcoming space for your own for this summer. See you in the next one. I'm starting today's decorating in the entryway. With everything cleared except the lamp, it gave me a clean canvas and the perfect opportunity to start fresh. I also removed the old sign because I'm so excited to add a new one, and we're starting with that. This sign was a recent DIY on my other channel, and I'm so pleased with how it turned out. It's exactly what I envisioned for this space. And the best part, it cost me peanuts compared to what I'd spent at a high-end store. What do you guys think? I absolutely love it, and I'll leave a link so you can check out how to make one yourself. Next, I moved on to styling the entryway table. I wanted to do something a bit different this time, so I brought in this lovely light-colored vase. I was inspired by the lushness of my garden. Everything's in full bloom, so I tried to recreate the same fullness and life here. I used cherry blossoms from Dollarama, and then I mixed in some greenery from Timu to give that leafy layered look. I had to bend the stems quite a bit because they were tall, and while I love the way they look together, I'm not fully sold on the scale. The vase might be just a touch too short. I don't have a larger light colored vase at the moment, but I'm keeping an eye out at Value Village or yard sales for the perfect one. So stay tuned, maybe I'll find something before the summer home tour goes up. For now, though, I'm leaving it as is because I love how the light vase ties into the rest of the space. In the middle of the table, I'm bringing back some of my favorite coffee table books. As I've mentioned before, I've thrifted them mostly for their spines, not necessarily the content. I topped them with a magnifying glass from HomeSense and mortar style candle I DIY'd, inspired by Olive Atelier. I added a thrifted glass vase next to it, which is a McGee & Co. dupe I scored about $2 at a thrift store. Moving to the bottom of the table, I usually style a basket with a blanket and a pillow. But for a cleaner summer look, I removed the pillow and simply folded the blanket neatly inside. I love how simplified and fresh it feels now. Next to that, I added another McGee & Co. inspired DIY, a paper mache bowl. I filled it with lemons and limes to bring that little pop of summer color. I think this entryway is feeling cozy, fresh, and perfectly summery now, and even if I'm still on a hunt for that perfect vase. If you're enjoying this video so far, don't forget to give the video a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, subscribe and hit the bell so you never miss a cozy decorating moment. Also, let me know in the comments, would you replace the vase? So let's move into the living room. Just like the entryway, I started by clearing everything out. I have to say, I'm loving having these new blinds here. I installed them during my spring decorate with me, and after 2 years with bare windows, they've made such a difference. I love being able to open them halfway, all the way, or close them completely. I'll link the blinds, curtains, and anything else mentioned in the description box for you. Starting with the mantle, I added a large thrifted vase and filled it with small white flowers from Dollarama. They're wispy and lush, perfect for summer. At first, I planned to use my usual vase here, but then I remembered this urn, another DIY, and I thought, why not bring in something different? I paired it with a wooden sphere that balanced that with candlestick holders on the opposite side. I tried a gold thrifted candle holder, but it didn't quite work, so I ended up using a bronze stone candlestick instead, also thrifted. Funny enough, I dropped one of the candles and broke it in half, but I actually think the shorter height works better on this side. I wasn't 100% sold on the whole mantle setup, but looking at the camera now on my computer, it does look better than I thought. Next to the fireplace, I styled a pot which you might recognize as an old milk can. I transformed it to mimic the look of French-styled aged clay pot. Those can cost hundreds, even thousands, so this was a fun way to get the look for less. It's holding my olive tree, though I'm not sure it's the perfect match. I think a slimmer, taller tree would look better here, but for now, this works. Also, you'll notice the chair was moved over. Someone wanted to be right under my feet while I was decorating. Let's move on to the coffee table. I added a tray, one I originally styled back in January, but a makeover using a soft rattan tone spray paint that's perfect for natural texture. It really pulls all my rattan and woven accents together. Beside it, I placed the white vase, another DIY, and I filled it with florals from Temu. I absolutely love the look of these florals, these green leafy stems. I added a blue book to bring in a bit of cool tone and then layered in the ceramic bowl I made, though sadly one side broke recently. I lifted it while it was full and it wasn't meant to hold heavy items. But it still looks beautiful, so I am using it. I added a candle and then I added some stone beads, yet another DIY from my DIY channel. On the side table, I brought in a rattan jug vase and I filled it with the big banana leaves stem I got years ago from a little shop called Dublin Mercantile. It gives me those tropical summer vibes. I also added another paper mache bowl with some more lemons and limes and then completed the look with a picture frame. So now I revisited the mantle again. I swapped out the candlesticks and moved them to the side table. I added a beautiful thrifted picture I recently spruced up. I loved the print in it, but the frame needed a refresh. I also brought back my wooden lantern, which is honestly one of my most used decor pieces. On the opposite side of the mantel, I replaced the urn and vase with a smaller blue vase to tie in with the rest of the room. I kept playing around, even trying a gold urn, but it didn't work. I landed on a HomeSense head candle holder that's almost identical to a McGee & Co. one, just needed a little paint. Looking at it now, I think the balance works, although it might still tweak the vase. Lastly, I styled the couch with the same pillows as I used in spring. They're versatile and still work beautifully for summer. I think the whole room feels lush, light, and summery. Even though looking at it once I thought I was done, I realized that my corner is still unfinished. So I went ahead and I added some of my hydrangeas that I preserved from last year in just a little pot. And I think now it completes the room. Now that the living room has come together, I'm loving how fresh and airy it feels for summer. There's beautiful balance between cozy textures and that light, breezy vibe that makes this space feel lived in but elevated. From the soft layers of the mantle to the rattan touches and cheerful pops of green and citrus, everything ties in to bring that cozy and fresh feeling we're going for. I played around with a few elements until it felt just right, and sometimes that's where the magic happens, right? It's not about perfection, it's about creating a home that feels like you. Thank you so much for spending time with me today and decorating our entryway and living room together for the summer season. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. It truly helps my channel grow. And if you're new here, I'd love to have you stick around, hit that subscribe button, and turn on your notifications so you don't miss the full summer home tour coming soon. I still have few more spaces to decorate. I also love to hear your thoughts. Would you swap out the vase on the entryway table? Or maybe you have a creative idea for the mantle. Let me know in the comments below. I always love chatting with you. And if you're looking for some home inspiration and DIY decor, don't forget to check out my other videos right here on At Home with Sonia, or check out my DIY channel, which is DIYs with Sonia. Until next time, friends, happy decorating, and I'll see you soon. I'm starting today's summer decorating in our formal dining room. Although it's formal in name, we actually use this space every single day. As always, I begin by clearing off the surfaces and leaving just a few anchor pieces to stay here year round, like the olive tree in the corner, which only moves during Christmas, and the large pot in the opposite corner, which works with almost every season. I started styling the hutch by adding one of my favorite landscape paintings. This was actually a wedding gift. While I adored the artwork, I'm not in love with the frame. I've just ordered some gilding wax to give it a refreshed, antique-inspired look while preserving the original feel since it's by a well-known artist. Originally, I planned to add in one of my large garden style baskets, but it didn't quite fit, so I went with this wall basket instead. I filled it with cascading greenery from Dollarama and ended up actually moving it to the opposite side to balance out the space, since the olive tree was already adding visual weight to the right. On the opposite end of the hutch, I grouped a few of my neutral pottery vases, no greenery this time, just simple shapes and textures. I've seen this style in few Pottery Barn catalogs, and I thought it would be fun to try it here. To give the basket a little more height, I tucked in a couple of boxwood stems, also from Dollarama. On the top shelf, I finally found the perfect spot for this sweet little teapot I thrifted a few years ago. I've been wanting to use it, and I love how it looks here. On the lower shelf, I added a rattan-style pot with more greenery and rearranged a few pieces from my fine china set, which was another wedding gift and always has a home in this room. I also added one of my newest DIYs, a little gold bird inspired by a piece from Simone and Ivy, or maybe Simon and Ivy. I can't quite remember how I don't quite know which one it is. Either way, I recreated it and shared a tutorial over on my DIY channel. On the bottom shelf, I added a dough bowl with candle, and beside it, I placed a rattan vase I spray painted in a warm nutmeg color. That vase was from Timu, and the florals inside were also a budget-friendly find. On the other end, I added a vintage thrifted gold bowl and I filled it with lemons and lime. Such an easy way to add color and that summer feel. I felt like the space in the middle needed something. And while a vintage frame print would be perfect, I ended up using one of my all-time favorite DIY signs for now. If I find that perfect piece down the line, I might switch it out, but for now, I'm happy with this. I added a small stack of mugs to the corner just to cozy up the space a bit more. And after stepping back and looking at everything together, I really love how it all turned out. I did end up switching few things around as well as the rattan vase, and I switched it out for one textured off white vase to break up the similar materials. It just felt a little too matchy. Let me know which one you prefer. For my table, I brought in a subtle pop of color with the soft sage blue table runner I picked up at HomeSense a few years ago. I did give it a quick spray of wrinkle release and weighted down the corners since my iron and steamer are both broken. Add those to the to buy list. On top, I added a scalloped wicker tray, a thrifted or a yard sale find, can't quite remember which, and one of my DIY pottery style vases and some delicate faux daisies. These florals will work beautifully for summer and even transition into early fall. Since we use this table daily for my family dinners, I keep the centerpieces simple and skip the full table settings. Those are better saved for special videos. Going all over to the bar cart, although I don't use it as a bar, it's a great surface to decorate. I added a beautiful fluted style vase with a narrow neck. If anyone knows what this type of vase is called, let me know in the comments. I paired it with some of my favorite wooden candlesticks, faux wooden candlesticks, and and candles. For greenery, I use a few long, wispy stems with a soft pepper leaf look. These were a dollar store find, and I actually removed the tiny faux peppers they came with for a more organic look. On the bottom shelf, I placed my footed rattan bowl from Temu and filled with some DIY moss balls. I looked up summer bowl filler ideas, and these kept popping up as a traditional option, so I guess I'm on trend. And that wraps up decorating my dining room. I just love how this space came together. It feels so bright, cheerful, and airy, which really lifts the whole mood of the home. At the same time, there's such a cozy and inviting feel to it, with all the warm textures and thoughtful little touches. It's the perfect balance between fresh and comforting, and I'm so happy with how it all turned out. Now let's head into the family room, or as some call it, a gathering room. This space is used daily by our entire family. I've already fluffed and styled the pillows on our couch, which I absolutely love, but the fabric is a challenge. I recently found out it's code S, meaning no water-based cleaners, so no more little green machine for these. If you've been here for a while, you know I almost all of my vases are thrifted or DIY'd. And I styled this one on top of the stack of books on my coffee table. And then I filled it with some pretty petite florals from Dollarama. Funny enough, I saw a Pottery Barn summer catalog that used nearly identical florals on their coffee table. Mine were only $3 a stem, though a still bit more than I like to pay, but they were too dainty and sweet to pass up. I used the seagrass scallop tray I recently found at HomeSense for $10. Such a good price, I thought. And inside, I placed my marble coaster, another thrifted find for $3, a stone pot from Dollarama, and a touch of greenery. I also tucked in a concrete looking bird that I DIY'd from Dollar Tree piece, Again, full tutorials on my DIY channel. And I also forgot to mention that I added a vintage candle snuffer here as well, which was a yard sale find for $1. To finish the tray, I added a wooden bowl and a candle. And this completes the coffee table. Simple, layered, and cozy without blocking the TV view. On the side table, I finally found the perfect piece I've been searching for. It's round, a great height, and just the right size. I got it for only $20. It needs so much TLC though, since the previous owners kept it outdoors. So it's going to be a fun project coming up on the channel. So make sure my DIY channel. So make sure you stay tuned for that. And if you're not following me on a DIY channel, the link is down below. And I'm talking about the side table. But for now, I am styling this side table with the rattan vase from the dining room, and I filled it with some thrifted daisies, and then I added a rattan box. I was worried that the texture might clash, but they actually completed each other really nicely, and I love having the little box to hide the remotes and also my reading glasses in there when not in use. And that wraps up my summer decorating in a dining room and family room. Also wanted to mention that the TV art is a vintage TV art YouTube channel, and they have some great looking TV art for your TV. My TV is not framed, and you can even find ones that will have a frame around the art as well. So it looks like you have a framed TV. So as I said, this wraps up my summer decorating in the dining room and family room, and I love how light, fresh, and inviting everything feels. Let me know in the comments which piece or styling moment was your favorite. And if you enjoy simple seasonal decorating with DIY touches, I'd love to have you subscribe and join our cozy little fam community. Thanks so much for spending time with me today. Until next time, stay creative and cozy, my friends. Starting with a blank slate, I had already cleaned and removed everything off the counters that wasn't functional or seasonal. I always like to keep out items we use daily, but everything else gets a reset for the season. I'm starting at the back corner of the kitchen, where I added a thrifted wooden bowl to warm up the space and contrast all the white tile and quartz. To brighten things up, I filled it with some fall lemons and limes. I just love how much life and color citrus brings to a summer kitchen. To help cover up some of the visible outlets and add a layered look, I brought in a woven tray, another thrift find, and leaned a few cutting boards against the wall for a height. I also added a pottery style vase I scored at a garage sale for just $1 and popped in some yellow Dollarama florals. Beside that, a small wooden tray holds everyday items like garlic. It's functional but still cute. On the opposite side of the stove, I added the wine and cheese board from Pottery Barn. Believe it or not, I found it at a garage sale for $3. I sanded it and stained it to the color I wanted. On top, I placed a champagne bucket turned vase or a pot. Thank you to my subscriber who helped identify it. And I filled it with wooden spoons and some dough hooks I use often. Next to that is a frame print by a Canadian artist, another thrifted treasure, and I added my salt and pepper shakers in front salt and pepper mills in front of it. For even more texture, I placed a small concrete pot from Dollarama and added a bit of greenery. When I stepped back, I realized one side of the kitchen had more yellow than the other, so I swapped the yellow florals for some fern-like stems to balance it out. I also replaced the little green pot with a single yellow bloom, and that really helped pull everything together. If you're enjoying these simple and fresh summer decorating ideas, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. It really helps my channel grow. And if you love cozy functional decor on a budget, make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. Moving on to the island. I brought back one of my favorite trays and jug vases. I use them all the time for seasonal styling. If you're looking for island styling ideas, I have a whole video with multiple summer looks. I'll link it in the cards above. Inside the jug vase, I added these beautiful green hydrangeas I found on a garage sale for just $1. I paired that with a candle from HomeSense. It has a pretty yellow trim and a delicate blue design. And then I brought in a simple white pitcher filled with those same yellow flowers I removed earlier. This little switch really made the island feel cohesive and bright. Now let's head to Coffee Nook. I moved things around a bit for a fresh feel. I started by adding a small woven lamp from Temu to brighten up the corner. Then I brought my black vase to add some height and topped it with and added some wispy vase stems, also from Temu, that I think look so light and summery. Above the nook I have two floating shelves. On the lower one I place my McGee & Co. vase dupe with a bit of greenery, a small concrete pot filled with spoons and few coffee essentials. The upper shelf is always a bit tricky to record and decorate, but I added a thrifted frame. I gave a little DIY makeover, along with another concrete pot and some greenery. On the opposite side, I tucked in a small jug vase with floral stems and sweet little pottery vase, all thrifted. The yellow flower helped tie everything together beautifully, and the flowers in the vase came from Temu. The last area I decorated is the open shelf beside my pantry. I added a Temu basket and filled it with fall lemons and limes. And here's a little trick: if you don't have many, just fill the bottom with newspaper or a towel and top paper towel, or top it with one layer to give the illusion of a full basket. I thrifted so many fall lemons and limes over the years, it became a little obsession. I also placed a little DIY art piece I made on my DIY channel and a potted herb plant that I hope to grow soon. But for now, it just has a artificial one from Dollarama. Under the shelf, I hung a kitchen towel, a cute watering can, and another Temu basket where I store garlic and onions. It's a small touch, but it really adds interest and personality to an otherwise plain wall. While it's more decorative than functional, I love how it brings warmth and charm to this little corner of my kitchen. And that wraps up today's summer kitchen refresh. I hope you found a little inspiration for your own home, whether it's adding pops of color, styling with thrifted treasures, or just bringing in a bit of that fresh summer feel. If you enjoy decorating with me, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. It truly helps my channel more than you know. And if you're not already part of this cozy little community, I'd love to have you. So hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell so you don't miss any of the seasonal inspiration I have coming your way. Thanks for spending part of your day with me, and until next time, happy decorating, friends. So here is what the yard looks like right now. We have redone all the stones already, and then we also added a new layer of mulch. I will insert I think I have a photo or a video of what it looked like before or shortly after it was done, before the mulch came. And then we still need to trim some of the bushes here, and then I just need to clean this area up a little bit. My husband will be pressure washing at a later date, so I will not be showing pressure wash deck. That will come, well, that will be done later, so I will not be, it's not going to be part of this video as much as I would love it to be. So unfortunately, because we are working together and certain members of the family don't want to be in the video, I will have very short clips of what I'm doing, and then I will do a full reveal at the end of the whole thing, how it looks put together. So I'm going to get started. I started by cleaning out a few of these hanging planters. I've had herbs growing in them for a while now, and honestly, I usually don't do much in the fall. I just let things be and wait to see what might come back in the spring. Sure enough, My oregano always returns, so I'm keeping that where it is. And surprisingly, it looks like some basil has come back too. I gave it a little rub, and yep, it smelled just like basil, so I'm letting it stay and see how it does. Now that I've seen what's coming back, I'm adding in a few more herbs. Over the years, I've learned which ones I use the most, so I'm keeping it simple and intentional. Along with the oregano and basil, I added cilantro and a flat leaf parsley. Those are the ones I reach for the most in the kitchen. I didn't want to load the planters with random herbs I never end up using. I do love dill, but I never had much luck growing it in a planter. It just doesn't seem to thrive. I also tried Thai basil and curly parsley in the past, but this year I am sticking with the basics: oregano, basil, cilantro, and parsley. It's just easier and more practical for how we cook around here. Another little area I wanted to give some attention to is this corner by the fire table, the one up near the barbecue. I absolutely love this spot, especially in the evenings, but it does get messy quickly. The plants around here tend to poke through the decking, and some of the branches were getting a little wild, creeping in where they shouldn't. So I definitely need a little refresh. My husband is also going to pressure wash the deck soon. Most of it is already cleaned off, but a good deep cleaning just makes everything feel fresh again. I went ahead and wiped down the fire table, and now I actually have a big wood burning fire pit down below in the yard, and we love that one too. But this smaller gas one up here is perfect for those cozy nights when it's just the two of us. It's so easy, no hauling wood or building a fire, just turn it on, and instantly you got that warm, glowing ambiance. It's our little escape, especially on chilly evenings. Next, I picked up a few hanging baskets to brighten things up a bit. I have lots of greenery, lots of lush greenery, but I feel like my space is lacking a little bit of flowers. So instead of hanging them, I like to nestle them into large planters I already have. It's such an easy way to add a burst of color without having to replant everything. First, I had to adjust the soil level in the planters so that the baskets would sit just right. Once they were in place, I simply removed the hanging hooks and they fit beautifully. I think it looks so pretty and polished this way. like an instant garden refresh with minimal effort. After I had the kids help me tidy up the rest of the patio area, picking up any leftover trash or random bits that had blown in. Once everything was cleared away, I gave the whole patio a good rinse. We don't typically pressure wash this section since we have grout sand between the pavers, and I'm always worried that the pressure washer will blow it out. So instead, we just hose it down and give it a gentle scrub, which works well and keeps everything intact. While I was at it, I also cleaned off the outdoor dining table and chairs. I don't usually keep much on the table day to day. I like to keep it clear for the most part because it just saves me the hassle of having to clear everything off every time it rains. But when I'm expecting company or having a little dinner outside, I'll dress it up a bit. Recently, I DIY'd some candle holders that I'm pretty excited about. I was inspired by some beautiful ones I saw from Pottery Barn, but instead of splurging, I thrifted few glass holders and gave them a makeover. I frosted some of them for that soft, diffuse glow and left others clear for contrast. They turned out so pretty. They add just the right touch of warmth and charm without being over the top. It's those little details that make the space feel extra cozy and welcoming. And that's about it for decorating and tidying up. I planted a few things, cleaned out some of the planter boxes, gave everything a good wipe down, and focused on the lower part of the patio to really freshen it up. So here's a little tour of how everything's looking now. Over on the side, I have the rain barrel, and just to the left of it, a small seating area, perfect for quiet coffee or a glass of wine in the evening. We also have two barbecues and a cooler tucked in here. Not a bar car though, that would be nice, maybe someday, but for now the cooler does the job when we are entertaining. I also added a few little lanterns here and there. I actually put them out the day before filming, so I didn't get a chance to mention them earlier, but I love how they add that soft, cozy glow. Over on this side is another small seating area with a lantern as well, and I popped a solar light inside of it so it lights up beautifully at night. I'll try to include a little clip of what everything looks like once the sun goes down. It really does feel magical with all the lanterns glowing. However, the day that I was recording the evening tour, it was a little bit cloudy and some of my lanterns weren't turning on. Here's a look at the dining table with the glass candle holders I DIY'd. I think they're going to look so pretty when they're all lit up in the evening. This table is definitely due for a little makeover, which I'm planning to tackle in the next couple of weeks. It's still holding up great, but it could use a bit of love. The gardens are looking really beautiful this year, and of course, Duke had to come out and show off all of his toys. He was very proud to display every single one of them while I was filming. And Frank is somewhere out here as well, probably hiding somewhere in a shade. One of the biggest transformations has been the stonework. We pulled out all the river rock, replaced the old landscaping fabric with new cloth, and then put the rocks back in. It just looks so much cleaner and neater now. We also topped up all the mulch, which helped define the space and make everything feel more intentional. The play area has been working out really well too. Everything has its own spot and it feels organized, which is always the goal. The grass could use a bit of help still, but honestly, considering we have 2 extra large dogs, I think it's holding up pretty well. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps. Let me know in the comments if you love spending time in your garden this time of the year too, and I'll see you in the next one.